You wake up tired, sleep 8 hours, still tired. You thought it was physical? How cute. I'm Zeus, and you're not tired because you sleep poorly. You're tired because you're living 3 lives at the same time, and your brain is shutting down. Right now, while watching this, your brain is running 35,000 decisions. What to click next? What to think about that notification? Whether to keep watching? Whether I'm full of shit? 35,000 micro choices. Every single day. Your grandparents? 20 decisions a day. You're running 1,700 times more mental load than any human was designed for. And you wonder why everything feels hard. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain detected you're operating beyond capacity. So it started shutting down functions, not the important ones. You can still work, still function, still perform. It shut down the parts that make you human. Empathy, creativity, joy, curiosity, passion. That's why you can do your job, but can't feel excited about anything. Why you maintain conversations, but feel empty inside. Why you're functional but dead. You're not broken. You're not depressed. You're a phone at 15% battery running in survival mode. Let me show you exactly how you got here. You live 3 lives, all at once, without realizing it. First life, the real one. Your body doing things in the actual world. Working, eating, interacting with people who exist. This is the smallest part of your day now. Maybe 3 hours if you're lucky. Second life, the digital one, your online presence. Your social media persona that never sleeps. Responding to messages that never stop. Maintaining a curated image of who you want people to think you are. Consuming infinite content. Everything competing for your attention at the same time. You're always connected, always available, always being watched, always needing to respond, react, perform. Your phone isn't a tool anymore. It's a leash. Third life, the imaginary one, the idealized version of you, thinner, richer, more productive, happier, more successful, perfect relationships, perfect routine, perfect body. This ghost version judges you constantly, compares you with everyone, reminds you daily that you're not enough, that you're behind, that you're wasting your potential. And even when you try to sleep, it's still there, listing everything you should have done better today. You're trying to live all 3. At the same time, feeding all 3, being responsible for all of them. Your brain wasn't designed for this. No brain was. And that's why you're so deeply tired you can't remember the last time you felt rested. Here's what no one told you about mental fatigue. It doesn't hurt, doesn't bleed, doesn't show up on tests. So you ignore it. You think it's weakness, lack of discipline, and you keep pushing. You drink more coffee, make another list, watch another motivational video, buy another productivity course. Because society taught you that if you're tired, the problem is you. You just need to try harder. Be stronger, so you add more things. More habits, more routines, more metrics, more versions of yourself to perform. And you get even more exhausted. Until one day you can't anymore. Can't pretend to care about that meeting. Can't respond to messages with enthusiasm. Can't make that interested face when someone talks about their weekend. You start forgetting things, names, appointments, conversations you had yesterday. Your brain is so overloaded, it's dropping data just to survive. And you think, is this depression? Is something medically wrong with me? You see a doctor, run tests. Everything comes back normal. Because it's not depression, you're cognitively exhausted. Your brain entered survival mode and shut down non-essential functions. Like a phone in battery-saving mode. Still works. You can make calls, send messages, but half the apps won't open. Everything gets slower. And you know which functions shut down first. Empathy, motivation, curiosity, creativity, joy. Everything that made you feel human. Now you're a functional zombie. Going to work, doing what needs to be done, fulfilling obligations, but completely empty inside, physically present, mentally absent, running on autopilot. And the worst part? You feel guilty. Guilty for not having energy. Guilty for not getting excited. Guilty for just wanting to lie down when you get home. So you hide it, perform normalcy, smile when needed, keep the mask on, and this exhausts you even more. Because now you're tired and performing not being tired. And everyone tells you that you need more discipline, more gratitude, more positive thinking, more morning routine, more meditation. As if adding one more thing to your list would solve the problem created by having too many things on your list. Adorable. Listen carefully. I'll explain exactly where this exhaustion comes from. 3 sources. 3 open faucets pouring exhaustion into your brain 24/7. First source. Infinite decisions. Your grandparents made 20 to 30 decisions per day. You make over 35,000. What to wear. What to eat. Which route to take. Which message to answer first. Which post to ignore. Which news to read. Which series to watch. And that's just before breakfast. 35,000 micro decisions. Each one consumes real mental energy. It's like having 35,000 browser tabs open, all consuming memory, all running at once, all slowing down the system. And you wonder why you can't concentrate, why everything seems hard, why you procrastinate even simple tasks. It's not laziness, it's decision fatigue. Your brain spent all its energy before noon. Second source, the performance that never ends. You're not you, nowhere, never. At work you perform professionalism, competence, dedication. Can't show weakness. Must always be at your best. Always available. Always productive. At home you perform being a good partner, good parent, good child, present, attentive, even when you just want silence. Online you perform having an interesting life. Choose the right photos, write the right captions. Show only the good moments. On dating apps, you perform being desirable, interesting, funny, successful, all at once. On LinkedIn, you perform being the professional who has it all figured out. And nowhere can you simply exist, without filter, without mask, without performance. You know how much it costs to maintain multiple personas? More than you have. That's why you arrive home destroyed, even without doing anything physical. Because you spent hours being someone else, someone carefully constructed, controlling every word, every expression, every reaction. And the person you really are is suffocated, buried, screaming to get out. But you don't let her, because you have an image to maintain, expectations to meet, so you push her down and down and down, until she stops screaming, and then you feel nothing. Third source. The game you never win. You're playing a game with no end, no final boss, no credits, no moment where you can stop and say, I made it. There's always more. More money to earn, more body to sculpt, more connections to make, more experiences to have, more levels to climb. A goalpost is on wheels. Every time you get close, it rolls further away. And you chase these thinking when you get there you can rest. But you never arrive, because the finish line moves. You reach one goal and 3 new ones appear. Get that salary and need the next one. Get that body and must maintain it. Reach that follower count and need to grow more. And you don't celebrate. Don't pause, because you're already running after the next ones. It's a treadmill rolling backwards. You run faster just to stay in place. And your brain knows this. Even if you don't admit it, deep down you know you'll never get there, that you'll never be enough, that you can never stop. And that's what exhausts you more than anything. The futility, the absence of meaning, the feeling of being in an infinite hamster wheel. Have you tried to rest? Of course, you took vacation, spent a weekend doing nothing, slept late, stayed home, and came back even more tired because you didn't rest. You just changed the scenery of your anxiety. You took vacation, but brought your phone, answered emails quickly, checked messages just to see, scrolled Instagram a little, planned the future, worried about work. You didn't rest. You transported your exhaustion to a different place, Real rest means turning off completely. No input, no output, no performance, no productivity, just existing. Without purpose, without goal, without agenda. And you can't do this because you were conditioned to believe that if you're not producing something, you're wasting time. So even in rest moments, you're consuming series, videos, podcasts, books, always inputs, always bombarding your brain. And you call this relaxing. What a joke. Here's the truth. You're not going to stop being tired because you're not going to change anything. You'll watch this video, agree with everything, think this is exactly what I'm feeling, and tomorrow you'll do exactly the same things. Because changing would mean admitting you're living wrong, that the life you built is destroying you. And you don't want to admit that, because then you'd have to make painful choices. You'd have to stop trying to impress people who don't care about you, abandon goals that aren't yours, disappoint expectations you created, and you prefer to stay exhausted. So you'll keep drinking coffee, buying vitamins, trying to optimize sleep, making productivity lists, treating the symptom, ignoring the cause, and you'll keep wondering why nothing works. The answer? It doesn't work because you don't want it to work. You want a magic solution that lets you continue the same way without consequences. That solution doesn't exist. You want to stop being tired? Stop living 3 lives. Choose one and live it completely. But you won't do it because you're afraid. Afraid of being irrelevant. Afraid of being forgotten. Afraid of discovering that without all this performance, you're not as special as you thought. And it's this fear that keeps you trapped, tired, empty, running on a wheel that leads nowhere. I already warned you millennia ago, but you don't listen, never listen. You keep chasing things that don't matter, living lives that aren't yours, exhausting yourselves over nothing. And then you complain that you're tired. Keep going like this. You're already too trapped to get out. I'll be here, watching, as always, waiting for you to notice the obvious. But don't hold your breath. It'll take forever, as it always does.